Hello friends, Lee here from TableTop Bong. Thanks for joining me. In this video, I thought we could hang out, have a fun sesh, and I'm going to show you my absolute favorite new accessory for Arizer handheld products. This brilliant little piece is, I'm just in love with it, and I wanted to make sure you guys knew this was available, and I wanted to show you how awesome the function is. And all we're talking about is this little water pipe adapter, but this is a high airflow version. Okay, so this does not work like traditional Arizer water pipe adapters. There's a stem that is also made exactly the same. This is available on Sneaky Pete's store. I found this, I had to pick a few things up and I was shopping on the Sneaky Pete store and I saw this piece and I was like, oh, brilliant. I want to throw that in my cart, make sure I get free shipping, right? So I got it home. I tried it out. I'm like, this is my absolute favorite piece for Arizer. Like seriously, this thing is such a great little investment. So what's going on? Okay, so we have a screen here now. Okay, and you can see there's glass, dimples in here that screen is sitting on top of. Okay, so that right there, when you're looking at it as we see it, is at the full bowl setting. See, there's a little bit of a line here in the glass as well. You can see right there. That line is actually your half bowl setting, and what that's for is if you're going to use this with, say, the Solo 2 or the Air Max or Air SE, right? This is compatible with all of these different Arizer products. So like I said, there's also a matching stem for this as well, so you don't have to use it with the water pipe. But what I love about this is this removes basically all draw resistance, and it allows you to really push these devices when you're coupling them with a bong. What does that mean? That means you're getting desktop quality vapor from a portable vaporizer with these Arizer handhelds. Doing this with the Arizer Solo 3 is such a powerhouse experience. I'm going to show you that in just 1 second. Before we get going though, what I do want to mention, and I don't know if everybody will be aware of this, but when you use high airflow stems like this, where you're changing from the original format of use, so you're changing how much air can move through the stem drastically. When you do that, you're going to change how the actual device has to work to keep up. So when you have different run time, you're going to get X amount of time off of a single charge. You should only lose X amount of degrees each time you draw on it. That all changes. You're going to draw harder on your battery. You're going to make the electronics work harder. You're going to make the oven work harder. But I've tested it with all of these different Arizer devices and they all keep up just beautifully. Let's kick on the Solo 3 right now. This is such a cool experience with the Solo 3, my friends. Solo 3 has such a wide open airflow to begin with compared to what we've seen with Arizer products in the past. I'm going to run this on 210 degrees. I'm not going to go right to max temp, but I'm going to go 210. And then I'm going to use a medium coarse grind. This is a Phoenician grinder, and it gives me a medium coarse grind like this. So I have in here some permanent marker from Coterie. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to scoop it in a loose pack. I am not going to push that down at all. Okay, just nice and loose. So when I start to actually draw on this, it's probably going to compress by about 1/3. But I'm just going to go ahead and put that right in my, this is a TableTop Orb in natural cherry. I have a heady glass stem in here that's going to allow me to move all kinds of vapor very, very quickly. I don't want my down stem in my bong to create any draw resistance, obviously, when the whole point here is wide open airflow. So I've gone with a wide open down stem. We have a wide open water pipe adapter. Well, what do you think? We should start ripping on this, shouldn't we? Now, although I just inserted this, watch how quickly this can actually get heated up in the bong when you start ripping on it right away. Cheers. That's basically, at this point, pure convection. Unbelievable flavor. Oh, so good. See how I can thicken that vapor up within a couple of draws? And get big, big flavorful rips. So I found 3 ways to use this. The first 2 are obvious. We've already talked about them. The XL bowl setting, the standard bowl setting, or half bowl setting, and XL bowl setting. That's 2 ways. The third way is to remove the screen altogether and to break off nug pieces and to drop the nugs right in there without the screen at all, which we're going to do in just a second here. But look at how much vapor is moving in these draws that aren't, they're not huge, really, really long draws. I'm taking a reasonably firm draw, but I mean, this is just allowing all kinds of airflow. Such a delicious experience. All right, let's take a look at this now. Remember I said this would compress? So you can see that's really, really even vaporization in there. Okay, so that's one way we can go at this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn on, let's go with the Solo 2, shall we? Show you what this looks like with the Solo 2. So we can get that heating up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm pulling the screen out right now, and we'll put it on the half bowl setting. Now, when I'm putting it on the half bowl setting, what I found the easiest thing to do is actually to drop a 6mm terp pearl right in there on top of, see how this looks in here, okay? So you can see the glass dimples or pinches in there. If you drop a 6mm glass terp pearl in on top like this, what you're doing is you're giving yourself a really simple spacer to hold that screen when you put it in. You want to just get it in place and you don't want to mess around with it. And that really makes it easy to just drop it in and push it down, and it just sits perfectly in place when you do that. It was just a real easy way to get that screen sitting in there perfectly. I don't mind the terp pearl in there. It'll eat some of the heat out of the vapor after the vapor's been created, so that's fine with me. And again, I'm just going to do a very loose pack with my Phoenician grinder. I'll link this grinder in the description. It's a really good grinder when using Arizer portable devices, because it is like a medium coarse grind. So it allows, if you don't overpack the stems, it allows you to get really great airflow through the stems, the traditional stems, or of course this high airflow stem as well. All right, so we have that packed in there. I'm just gonna give that just a second because, you know, the Solo 2 just came up to temperature. But I'm not gonna let it have too long to catch up because, hey, let's face it, with this high airflow, we should be able to just get right into it, right? And you can see we can pull right into vapor right away on this standard bowl or half bowl, however you want to look at it. But I know in the past, a lot of people have said that the airflow restriction on the Arizer handheld products really prevents them from getting the very most out of it when they're putting it on their bubblers or bongs. Now this turns your Arizer handhelds into something completely different when you're coupling with a bong. Like, just look at these rips with the Solo too. Huge, huge vapor. You're not going to get quite as many draws out of a single load doing this. Simply because you're putting a lot more air through it and you're extracting quicker than usual. So you don't need to take as many draws to completely vape it out. I'm going to put the Solo 3 back on for this next one. All right. What I'm going to do now is we're going to take that screen and terp pearl out completely. Okay? And I'll just turn this off. Okay, I'll show you what this looks like in here. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it all out of there. I've got the screen out, I have everything out, so all we have is the glass pinches in here, okay? I got my Solo 3 heated up. I am going to grab, this is some permanent marker from Coterie. Gonna grab a piece of this, I have a little bit left, and I'm gonna just break off a couple of nug pieces. Just drop them in just like that. I'm just gonna push this down just a little bit. There we go, we'll get it below so we're not making any contact. We have the Solo 3 heated up. 210 degrees Celsius. So doing this, now I'll let this just heat soak just for a second. And why I'm doing this, I'm not gonna get quite as thick a vapor doing this as I would if it's a coarse grind. But what I am gonna get is I'm gonna get flavor that is unparalleled in any other way. In my opinion, when you're using an Arizer handheld with a bong, this will give you the absolute best flavor while giving you some really nice clouds. It's just not going to be quite as dark a vapor, but that's because, of course, you know, you're vaping off the outsides. This is also a fun way to decarb your weed before making some edibles, right? If you take a few good draws off it and then put a few more pieces in and just keep doing that, and then you just make edibles without putting that weed in the oven then, right? You just break it up and put it in. Oh, it works nicely. But you can see, oh, wow. If you really want to taste your weed, but you need to take the bite out of it, this is it. This is it. Such a absolutely fabulous way to use your Solo 3 and to get absolutely the most flavor possible, in my opinion. When using a water piece, this is definitely it. It's a very satisfying way to do bong rips with a Solo. This, you know, specifically here, the Solo 3. This thing is such a perfect match with this high airflow water pipe adapter. Okay, my friends, I really wanted to make sure everybody was aware that this exists. High airflow water pipe adapter and stem available at the Sneaky Pete store. I'm not an affiliate. I paid for this like anybody else would. So I'm just letting you know that this is just, as far as it goes, as far as accessories for Arizer, This is the favorite one I found so far, and I was happy to pick it up and add it in just for the free shipping. Turned out to be, you know, one of those things that I was just so thrilled that I did, and I wanted to make sure you guys knew about it. All right, my friends, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and got something out of it. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, take care.